Alright, this is pretty late, I'll be honest. I wanted to do this a lot earlier, but your boy went 13-1 on this card for his picks. So I just wanted to do a quick breakdown about it, seems fair, with how good I did on these picks. I'm not going to take too long. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, I'll be honest. I did not catch this first fight, but Rodriguez got it done. Unanimous decision, so I'll take it. Hetcher Souza and Luan Lacerda, I caught some more of that. Sosa started slower in the first round. In the second round, he picked it up a lot, started being a lot more aggressive. Lacerda was popping him with jabs. Sosa was snapping the teeps. Both were pretty gassed going into round 3. Sosa's nose got broken either in the first or early in the second, and you could pick up on that pretty quick. It definitely impacted him. But I still had Sosa up 2-0 going into the third. Third, Lacerda mainly tried to wrestle him, but it was just gassed out striking back and forth. And Sosa got the decision. Hey, man, be a mosquito, man. The striking looked great, which I did not expect. She cracked Rendon with a counter, took her down, threw elbows, heavy punches from the top mount. Rendon tried to roll and get out of it, and Mosquito got the rear naked choke, sunk it in quick, got it easy. And Bia Mosquito is a problem, man. She's a little bit older too. I think she's 34, 35 maybe. So go ahead and push her up the rankings. Go ahead and get that started because she's definitely a problem in the division. All right, Brad Tavares and Eric Anders. Tavares, like I expected, did not look good to me, man. He got pushed back against the cage the whole first round. He got clinched. Eric almost put him out at the end of the first. It was very close. Second round was a lot of the same. Eric was pushing Brad back constantly. Brad actually cracked Anders bad at the end of round 2, got him on the ground, and then got his position flipped and got beat up some more. Third round was much of the same, just two Apex vets, just dirty scrapping. And Eric Anders gets the decision win, and I think he retired too, so shout out going out, with a great win over the Apex vet. All right, I'm not going to lie. Unfortunately, I missed the Belagioki and Manuel Souza fight as well. I only was able to catch the knockout, but bro just grabbed Belagioki's hand and just punched him in the face. I picked Oki getting gassed in the third and Souza getting the knockout. And I missed Elijah Smith and Su Young Yu as well. So, it is what it is. But Elijah Smith gets the dub. I am happy about that. Asplin versus Petrino was a bit of a war. I missed the first 3 minutes of round 1. When I came in, Asplin was already cut, but he dropped Petrino bad late in the round. In the second round, Petrino's jab started strong. Aspen looked like he was struggling with the quickness of Petrino. Aspen slipped in that round, and Petrino jumped on the back quick. Aspen was able to get out of the choke and get back to his feet, which was a great sign. Middle of the second round, it looked like Petrino was starting to fade a little bit, but Aspen really hadn't got much offense off this round anyway. Petrino landed some crazy hooks on Aspen late in the second round. It was just like 4 hooks in a row. Aspen's definitely got a chin. That showed. Asplin cracked Petrino again in the third, but just couldn't get him out of there. Petrino started swinging back hard and fast shots, and the rest of the third was Asplin just trying to land, but he was having a hard time dealing with Petrino's straight punches, and again, just could not really handle the speed of Petrino. Unfortunately, I think Petrino got the second and the third, and I think that's what the judges gave it as well, so Petrino does get the decision. That was my only fight that I got wrong on this card, and there were like 2 or 3 times where Asplin almost got him out of there, man. I still think the stock on Asplin has, come back to earth a little bit, but still a really entertaining heavyweight, and I think he beats a lot of the bigger, sloppier heavyweights. Petrino is a former light heavyweight. He's quick, he's fast, he's not just a blob at heavyweight, so This was definitely a tough fight, lowered the hype a little bit, but I still think a good showing by both the fighters for sure. So I missed the majority of the Curtis versus Oralby fight, but from what I saw, it was just Curtis getting repeatedly wrestle fucked. I saw him get thrown on his head in the third round pretty bad. The record for takedowns in a 3-round fight is 21. Habib got 21 takedowns. I think Oralby finished with 19 this fight. It was just dominant takedowns, pressure, push him against the fence, push him against the clinch. Just a dominant decision from Oralby, so about what I expected. Going into the main card, I saw bits and pieces of Charles Johnson and Bruno Silva, and from what I saw, I fully expected Charles Johnson to lose a decision. Him getting the W definitely surprised me. It looked like Bruno Silva was winning a lot of the striking exchanges. But hey, I picked Charles Johnson, so not gonna fight it too hard. Hey, crafty vets, stand up, you know. My crafty vet pick hit. Ion Cutelaba gets the first round submission over Umar Sy. Ion closed the fight at a plus 285. You know, the big dog just pulled it out. It was mainly a grappling match, and Ion caught him in a tight submission, and Sy tapped almost immediately. Just a good submission win by Ion Cutelaba, and I just don't know if Umar Sy is... I just don't think he's on that level yet. Hey man, Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick was a fun-ass scrap. First round was way more back and forth than I expected. I didn't really think Harry Hardwick was going to be able to do much of anything. But the first round striking was back and forth. You know, Rahiki was obviously landing the more damaging punches, but Hardwick looked solid, you know, which again is way more than I expected. The second round, you could see it start leaning to Rahiki. Hardwick got stunned bad a couple of times, and at some point in the round, Rahiki broke his jaw. And you could tell, too. The commentators could tell bro's face looked weird. It looked off. You could tell something was definitely wrong. And after the second round ended, Hardwick in the corner threw in the towel, which I'm not mad at that, man. Like, live to fight another day. That jaw was destroyed. And honestly, like I said, still a way better performance from Hardwick than I expected. But Marwan Rahiki is a problem. The striking defense, again, obviously can still use some work. If Harry Hardwick's landing 40 strikes on you in the first round, then obviously there's improvements to be made there. But he hits fun, he's hard to watch, and I'm excited for the next fight for sure. Next fight on the card is Andre Fili versus Jose Delgado. And I'm not going to lie, man. Fili was kind of reading this guy. First round, he was looking good. He definitely had me worried for my pick a little bit. He dropped him in the first round, and first round was definitely a round for Fili, and it was looking a little questionable for Delgado going into the second. In the second round, though, Delgado started out a lot smoother. He got some momentum in the middle of the round. He was working the body and the leg kicks a lot more than Fili, and got a good takedown with about a minute left. Fili was able to get back up, and they got back to scrapping, and then Fili got a takedown back on him right at the end of the second. I had it round 1 Fili and round 2 Delgado. And in round 3, Delgado just did more to me. He landed the stronger hooks, the better kicks. Fili still looked good, but Delgado just pushed the better pressure on him, and I think he did win rounds 2 and 3. So the pick turned out all right. I think I went Delgado by knockout. We obviously didn't get that performance. I am happy to see, though, coming off that loss to Nathaniel Wood, that Delgado was able to come into this fight, even lose the first round, and still make the adjustments to be able to win the second and the third and take the fight. So still a good performance from Delgado, just not exactly what I wanted. All right, one thing I just want to throw out as well. Can Paramount stop doing fucking ads between rounds? I'm just seeing these coaches talking to their fighters while hearing about fucking Yellowstone or DraftKings or something. Like, it's so annoying. I honestly thought Lemos versus Robertson was a pretty good fight. You know, first round had me nervous for Robertson. Lemos was stuffing the takedown. She was popping her good on the feet. And, it was definitely looked like it was leaning Lemos. But Jillian was just relentless. You know, round 2 and 3 was constant pressure, constant takedown attempts, constantly getting in the clinch. She had Lemos on the back foot the majority of the fight. There was some really good grappling moments in the third round as well. And, you know, I really think a finish here would have further separated Jillian Robertson in the division. But still a good win for her regardless, and she's definitely going to be a problem for a lot of the women in this division. Hey, man, last fight, we knocked out Josh Emmett. That was bad, man. Early fight was feints, it was movement, and Vallejos was stalking. You know, it was that slow kind of start that I was a little worried about in that first 30 seconds, first minute, you know, just slow stalking, you know, shoulders back and forth, walking forward. But he looked so confident in there. Like, everything was so calculated. Everything Vallejos threw was heavy. There were hooks early to the head and the body. He kind of knocked Emmett down about a minute and a half in. It could have been mixed with a slip or something that looked a little bit weird. And then when they got up off the break, he landed a big slicing elbow. Vallejos' timing was perfect tonight. He was beating Emmett to the punches. And then literally the first time Emmett tried to do anything more than one punch in the pocket, he got caught and dropped bad. The ground and pound was crazy. It was elbows, it was punches. Emmett was able to get back up to his feet. He had a knee, an elbow. He tried to throw a punch, fell down. And then after that, the finishing sequence was just, again, it was just so smooth. Everything Vallejos did tonight was just smooth. He kneed him in the face twice, threw an elbow to the body, a hook to the body, then snuck in a hard straight punch, and that was just the end for Emmett. Vallejos looked incredible tonight, man. Now, Emmett isn't the toughest test right now at this point in his career, but Vallejos passed that test with flying colors. He looked calm, collected, timing was insane, the speed was incredible. Just a flawless performance. I think the striking was 42-2 in favor of Kevin Vallejos, so that pretty much sums it up. And honestly, man, like I said in my breakdown video, I expected this to be a solid card, and it even exceeded those expectations. It had some good finishes, a lot of good fights, some good scraps. We had a lot of good prospects get wins, like Elijah Smith, Rahiki, Bia Mosqueda looked great, Manuel Souza got a finish, and obviously a great performance by Kevin Vallejos to wrap it up. Definitely an above average fight night card. I'd probably give it like an 8, 8.5. And, you know, your boy almost swept the card if Aspen could have got Petrino out of there, but 13-1 is pretty damn good. I will take that. So good card, good picks, and I will see y'all in the next one.